Welcome in, everybody. I got my wolf shirt on. Watch this. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but we'll try. Yeah, it's sort of working. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a wolf. It glows in the dark. Five and five. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. All right. I thought so. I don't know. I'm trying to get creative. Okay, that can be turned down a little bit. Change the color. Back up. There we go. So can you guys hear me okay? Okay. I just tuned the mic. Oh. There we go. About now. Okay, so tonight is the water sign collective. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I'm going to do 3 different timelines, just like I've done with the other ones, 3 different cards for Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You can switch them out. If one doesn't feel like it's part of what's going on, then another one does. Take it and leave it as it next to you. Waiting to let and get everybody in. Welcome in, Marie, Max, Taylor, Kitty Cat, Cody. How's it going? kitty cat song. Whoever's after and throwing spells on my throat and voice. Yeah. Return to sender, absolutely everything. So I'm going to do an oracle session, and then I'm going to get into 3 different collective spreads. So you can pick what resonates, leave what doesn't. The cat came back the very next day. Is that? What am I doing? I'm not paying attention, Ada. Pension. Okay. Yes, Colin, you can ask me a question. And don't be stupid about it. I get some really dumb questions sometimes. So, just putting that out there. Don't waste my time. But if you have something solid and something, let's go. What's going on? It's called the cat. I think the cat came back. You're speaking to the choir, Colin. Literally, me and the tribe. Good stuff. But what's the hang up? You're just feeling dull. Searching for your power. Waiting on a miracle. Good luck. Good luck is coming. But you're not taking any action. And you're going through a rebirth. Learning about your inner knowing, your intuition. You have an old soul. But you've lived in a karmic situation for quite some time. You're still looking for your path in life, and you're searching for your prosperity. The Spirit says you need to be patient. And it shows that you haven't been really getting a lot of support from the community because they don't believe in magic. The possibilities. So you've had no other choice prepared. Trying not to step on anyone's toes. The magic has been revealing itself to you anyway. Despite you don't really have a lot of good friends. You've been blocking out your intuition, and I think you're having a hard time wrapping your head around manifestation in the spirit world. But you recognize there's some possibility that there's impossibilities available to you, because you're winning by learning. Looking for your happiness. You have a sense for adventure, but there's a fire within you, a trembling. And I say maybe this is your temper. Let your temper protect you, but don't let it affect you. There's a place called boundaries. There's a place called standards. And the current status quo of this matrix is a very low standard, extremely low standard. It's almost embarrassing. And you hold yourself higher vibe than what's being provided, or what's in your status quo, your current environment. And I think the problem is that to some degree, your current environment isn't working for you. Because it brings out a part of you that you're not really wanting to have in your reality. It's really difficult to find your place in a really screwed up world. Fall in the wrong places and trying to just go along with the flow. But it's about authenticity. Just the highest vibe to who you are as an individual. And if you remain in a surface level, slow gear kind of place, searching for that deep connection or that deep experience, but never going into the deepness of the subconscious. Even begin to wrap your head around it, because it represents the area in where the supernatural and your manifestations and you figuring out your best life, where that lies. It's within your imagination. It's within your ability to create. Not only within your mind, but your mind's eye. To be intuitive, to be balanced. Inner calling. It's an inner knowing. Each and every one of us has that. But you have to go deep in order to receive that. meditation, sorting out the chaos, finding your anger, finding your temper, finding your frustrations, analyzing them. Why does this get me so pissed off? Why does this get me so mad? Why is this triggering me in such a way? Because ultimately people are going to show up and show you who they are. And we're constantly giving a benefit out of the doubt. And when this comes down to people that like to manipulate, it becomes a problem. One thing I do understand, by the divine light, each of us has a sovereignty. A divine right to live, to express. The intention of that expression should have sovereignty. Because the people that would like to listen will listen. The people that don't want to listen won't listen. But when you step into your authenticity, and your shadow and your light, your temper and your happiness, good nature, it brings you to a new place within your emotions. And there's a reason why I'm speaking on this. And this is why I've welcomed Kyle to the stage, so to speak, because I think it was a good position to start with for the water signs. Dealing with your emotions, as well as your intention. The fiery elemental mind to the watery emotional heart. To the insight and inner connection with our communication through the air of our soul. And the ever-changing, ever-growing, evolving element of who we are in a reality aspect with Earth. And all together that makes the spirit of who we are. Well, this is what I'm talking about. Cancer's literally everywhere. I guarantee you're going through it. With the current alignments, with the current placements, the current energies that we're going through since January, even before, you're going through it. And it's because as deep as you are as water signs, as deep as you are within your emotions, a lot of you that I've noticed are very surface level. You're too scared of the depths of your emotion. And this is, you have such a high temper. Because ultimately you have a high standard of things. It all works in the same intricate connecting the dots. And being emotional as you are, but being as surface level. I don't like saying shallow because I feel that shallow has a very low kind of degrading annotation. A lot of this isn't even, it's not even intentional. It's due to the situation, okay? It's due to the situation of your emotions, right? It's not easy to keep in check with the current state of the world. And being so, it creates almost a because as a person, as a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, you're very deep down, loving, compassionate. But because of the uproar and the chaos, it's amplified. Well, it's not about threatening people. It's really not. There's a way of getting something across without threatening someone. If people want to play that game with you, where they're going to trigger you, if they're going to poke you, hug you, poke the bear, so to speak, and not expect a reaction, they're sadly mistaken. The whole thing is that I don't think you were poking the bear, Sarah. Something got you to that point. Because you were feeling threatened. Right? So you were already feeling threatened. If you were feeling threatened, and you were returning the, shall we speak, it's kind of sad on his part. It's kind of embarrassing. He should know better. Because he's actually looking for a fight. This is reactive abuse. They create a situation for you to wig out at. See, this is why it's always good to focus on defense rather than causing any problems. And this is where you guys, as a water sign, can maybe change the whole environment by understanding where it's going. Because as water signs, you have the ability to go deep within your subconscious if you actually aren't cowards, and you gain a balance within your emotions and your mind. And by cowards, I'm saying you stay surface level. You don't ever go deep into your thoughts. You care less. But when it goes to your emotions, you feel the emotion, but I find that you don't go deep within your emotions. It's just surface level for the experience. Don't go deeper into the lesson or into why it triggers you. It just sits there and festers. And it marks out as to why you're so frustrated and why you're so bitter and why you, you know, a lot of you are creating trauma and drama where you don't even need to do. Because of the way you transmute the current state of the world. So, now that we got 25 in the room, you haven't missed a thing. We're going to start the reading. I'm just sitting here chilling out, waiting for everybody to hang out and jump in. We've been here about half hour. 9:44 on the time. Let's check out that number. Right, angel number 944 is a message from your guardian angels urging you to take action. Trust your spiritual power and embrace positive change. Here's a more to look at the meaning. The number 9 is also associated with spiritual power. So 944 suggests you should use your intuition and inner wisdom to make your dreams a reality. Oh, really? This number can also indicate that you're entering a period of positive change, and you should embrace the opportunities that are unfolding in your life. The number 4 reinforces the idea that you are supported and guided by your angels on your journey. It's a reminder that you are being supported and guided to manifest your dreams and goals. It encourages you to reevaluate your priorities and take responsibility for your actions. The number 944 is also emphasizing the importance of nurturing yourself and others. So taking action, achieving success also has a spiritual side. Your guardian angels want you to use your spiritual power to make your dreams real. When you see 944, it's like a sign to focus on what you want and tell the universe all about it. A call to action and positive change. I stand confirmed. It's literally everything I just spoke about in the 30 some odd minutes that we've been kicking it. Welcome in, Ryan. She's stable. The last time. All right, we're going to start with the angel deck. So I'm going to pick 3 angel cards. Now the oracle side, if you want to take the whole thing as the whole thing, all 3 signs, you can do that. But I do a little bit more of a, because there could be 3 different timelines for each sign, so that's why I'm just doing 3. Because they could probably mix and mingle. Great Spirit, guides, guards, protectors, angels, and divine light. Please bring a message to my water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Despite that you guys are water signs, you still have a fire within you. I hope you realize that. In fact, we have all 5 creational elements. Every other element is top of those intricate elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. The Miriam active is here saying that you need to heal the heart. This is a sacred time of healing. In order for you to whole once more, it's essential for you to reclaim all the lost parts of yourself. All the gifts and talents that you have been forced to hide or repress. By unleashing these tender aspects of yourself, you allow your heart to rebuild and strengthen. Your activation: I reclaim myself. I am ready for wholeness. It really doesn't matter what you've been through. We also have the Fire Guardian. Desires are not unholy. You are being encouraged to connect to the energy of desire and ignite your passions. As long as what you desire doesn't harm another or put them in danger to any living being, your desires are not unholy. Express yourself, play, and be untamed. For allowing these raw and authentic aspects of yourself to come to the surface, it also allows the universe to see you in your glory. And with fire, you work with intention. So you have to know exactly what you are doing. Your activation, I ignite of any passions and let it roar. All right, so for the 3 angel cards, we have the Water Guardian. Let your emotions flow. There are a lot of feelings within you, and it's time to let them out. Your emotions are powerful messengers and allow you to the tender, more vulnerable parts of yourself. Don't fight this, for in revealing this natural part of yourself, you're also revealing your beauty and gifts and allowing others to witness the most authentic part of you. And again, it's about being your most authentic self. Your activation, Water Guardian. I trust emotions and I let them flow with ease. The Chariot. They want you to create your own story. Nothing is set in stone. You are the co-creator of your life. The circumstance you have experienced up to this point have been linked to the choices you've made and the karma of your ancestors. Now is a pivotal time for you to begin moving into a space where you can create a story that's more aligned by your needs and ultimately the calling of your soul. Your activation, I recognize my ability to direct the experience of my life. Third one, Violet Flame. Surrender and release the past. You have faced darkness head on, and now you are moving into a state of love. All the previous traumas, dramas, and limitations are being cleared from your energy. So stay focused on knowing that you wouldn't be who you are today if you hadn't surmounted challenges that you have experienced. And to heal fully, let your love reach where it has never reached before. Your activate. I am purified by the violet flame. I'm going to check out the Sacred Feminine. We have the Messenger on the bottom. Sacred Feminine, 3 cards, please. Thank you. We got Revelation, Gaia, and Surrender. going to read Gaia first. Whether male or female, you are advised to embrace your feminine side. This means embracing your intuitive, gentle, and loving nature, and applying these qualities to a current troublesome situation. Embracing these nurturing and gentle qualities will help you to feel a sense of balance, and this will help you to overcome your present difficulty. Ask Mother Earth to help ground and strengthen you, and you will feel a renewed sense of vitality. Spend time in nature and do some gardening or go for a walk in the park. Feel your connection to the earth and remember that both masculine and feminine qualities are complementary parts of every human being. Balance, true power, and wisdom are only possible when you embrace both. And this is basically a information throughout the whole night about exactly what I started with. I think I was just channeling, right? Interesting. For years I have felt your yearning. Forever I have loved you. The no. I guess I'm kind of pulled over that way, but it's next. Revelation. You will soon find the answer that you seek. Sit quietly. Bring your focus to your breath and meditate. Pay attention to what you feel in your heart. An answer will surface from within. And again, it's about going within. It is understandable that the current circumstance is creating anxiety and stress in your life. It is human nature to want to make sense of everything in our lives. However, don't waste your energy trying to figure everything out logically, for this will only cause further confusion. Trust the loving guidance within you and know that all unfolds in perfect time. It will fall into place over the coming 2 months. At present, it's the third card. At present, it seems that the harder you try, the more things you want to elude you. There's not much that you can do at this moment except wait, surrender your expectations, and be patient. In time, you will get what you want. Though this may not come in the form or the way that you expected, in the meantime, remember that you cannot control how others view things or what they think, say, or do. In time, you will come to realize that the current events are a blessing. You will emerge from this period of your life with a newfound sense of clarity, which will enable you to move forward in a life of confidence. The emotional ups and downs you are currently experiencing will stabilize. I'm going to do a 3-card for the Voice of Souls. So 3 little mini reads. So Tech 2 stack. Spirit video for the first. What's the message for the first one? All right, so there's some sort of misguidance. With love. It's related to love. This has created your lack. Like, you need to go back to the way you look at love and reassess that whole aspect of love in itself. It comes back to the idea of even just having a relationship with yourself. Can you look in the mirror and say, oh, I love you? Or is it just you yearning for that other person to do that for you? It puts almost dependency on other people. Would you be comfortable in a solitude situation? On your own? Having nobody to talk to? Be in total solitude? Pull a hermit mode? And would you be totally sufficient? Or would you need to have people around to fill a void? And again, this is what I'm saying. The reason the whole surface level bullshit is happening and you're all in up and drama is because you're misguided with love. And even loving yourself. You are literally taking all your pain and sorrow and trauma and everything and sweeping it under the rug like it doesn't. Absolutely every experience that you've had in your life still affects you to this day because you swept it under the rug. You didn't learn nothing from it. You didn't get any information from it. It's just sitting there rotting away. You're missing out on so many blessings. So many understandings that would help you right now in this moment make sense of the shit that you're dealing with. But no, you'd rather just sweep it under the rug and not look at it. And then you bitch and holler and scream about how you fucking hate life and how you hate your experience and how people just need to screw off and stop being assholes. Meanwhile, you're the asshole. And I hate to say it, but it's true. But you're doing it to yourself. Really. Because what you choose to not deal with within, you're not receiving the blessings, you're not receiving understanding. With that understanding comes power, comes wisdom, comes experience. But if you're just going to dismiss the experience like it didn't even happen, what do you expect out of life? If you're going to dismiss yourself, what do you expect out of life? And you wonder why you're so miserable. Amazing, Max. Constant self-evaluation is good. It helps prevent karmic behavior. Karmics never admit they're wrong or take accountability. Where when you step into your divine energy, you do. You understand it because you possessed it. It's brought you a humility. It's brought you a respect, not only for yourself, but for somebody else. For the people that are around you. The relationships that you have, maybe with your children, or with your family, or your friends. Just take a step back and say, fuck the world, and just be like, no, I want to actually to know you. Instead of having so many expectations and situations that, people, yeah. Take a moment to actually unpack yourself and sit with yourself. And this isn't no judgment. I've done this myself. And it's created a totally different aspect to the way at anger, the way I look at frustration. Because when you notice and you recognize that other people, they're either triggering you or they're abusing you or like taking advantage of you or whatever else the case. Because it's really not a happy world out there. Let's just be honest. You have no other choice but to react. But when you understand it, it's coming from a karmic energy. There's no point. It's beneath you. Because once you understand and once you experience and once you are humbled by that experience, once you recognize the situation at hand, once you understand the love that you should have within yourself, the respect that you should have within yourself, your authenticity, your boundaries, your standards. That is all part of your authenticity of who you are and standing in your in your power. And this isn't an arrogance. This isn't an ego. This isn't anything. You're doing it in a humble way. You're doing it in a recognition and a respect for self. Just letting that sit for a second. And this all comes back to you being emotional creatures. Sometimes, yeah, you get out of hand. You get out of hand. I'm gonna, there. And I'm just going even in the memories of all the people that I know that were a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And experiencing her as individuals. No judgment, just observation. I want you to live the best self. I want you living in your best timeline. I want you to evolve into the most authentic person that you can become. Because I know a lot of you are going through it. I know a lot of you are lost. A lot of you just don't know exactly what to do with yourself. You're running scared, grasping at straws. And you think by losing yourself and just surrendering to some addiction, covering it up, masking it is going to work. It's not. You got to face it. And I think this is the whole thing. You guys are being sucked into a dark night of the soul. And you're having no other choice but to go through it. Oh, did I not predict that before December? For the whole year of 2024, I spoke on this. That if you are not going to go deep and go within your subconscious and tackle your trauma with courageous healing and go through all the shit that you have under your carpet, you're going to come to a point where you're having no other choice but to look at it. And this is that time. We're literally past the threshold. You're being scraped in, nails dug in, crying at the fact that you're being pulled into your emotions. You're like getting sucked into the vortex. If I can go into my subconscious and sort out my shit and alchemize it and turn my pain into power, so can you. It's not an easy ask, but you understand. You've already experienced it. So it's scary. You're not going to die just by sitting with it. Right now, you're sitting with a whole bunch of physical pain. And you really should be loving yourself. Because by doing so, that's where your dharma comes from. You think you're going to go through this and be in so much pain and just be a sobbing mess. Yeah, for some of it. Some of us have been through a hell of a lot of shit. But when you finally work with that courageous healing and you roll through it, you get to relive every experience you had. But by showing a compassion, sticking up for yourself within that situation, empowering yourself with the knowledge of anything that you can learn to see where you went wrong and where you could have done better for next time. It takes a while to meditate and sort through, but I guarantee you it's worth it. It only builds a better aspect and foundation for your relationship with yourself, but it also does that for other people. It does that for the community. And I'm not just targeting the water signs for doing this. A lot of different people do this. So I'm actually quite happy that this is all coming out the way that it is, because it is a collective. You very well could have a water sign in your chart. So this would still apply to you. Take a step back and actually understand that we're part of a propaganda matrix. And once we remove that propaganda matrix, we are individuals with sovereign ability. The only problem is, as a collective, we've been being leached off of. We've been hypnotized, not recognizing that we have sovereignty. By the divine. And the moment you go deep and you recognize that sovereignty, your life will literally change forever. The stress you hold on to and throw under the rug become you. It becomes your neurological issues. It becomes your heart issues. It becomes your blood issues. It becomes your stomach issues. It becomes your issues. It manifests in your reality through your skin and through your experiences. So if you're sitting there with psoriasis or a skin condition or Crohn's or irritable stomach or whatever the case may be, numbness, it's a manifestation of something that you're holding on to. And this goes right out to cancer. Bullshit going on with your lymph nodes. The stresses you used to carry is what ails you. Yeah. Exactly. Very good, Ryan. When you're cooking in the kitchen, don't ever go in the kitchen and cook when you're mad. Because you're literally putting anger in food, and you're literally doing witchcraft on your food. This is why it's so extremely important to understand of your intention, your mood, your thoughts, your emotions. It all matters. Every second of every day you are investing. Every second of every day it becomes you. So when you want to put anger into your food, you will eat it, you will become it. You want to put love into your food, you will become it. You want to do the same with your intention, within your actions, you will become it. So if you choose to allow the chaos and karmic issues to befriend you, you will be it. And it comes back to your authenticity and your intention. We're talking about physical pain. We're talking about love. And we're talking about dharma. This is how you transmute your karma. You heal. Because with that understanding, with that intention, with that authenticity of who you are as a whole being, your cup is full without anybody else's, with no expectations. Solely as a sovereign being, recognizing who the hell you are, showing up for that younger child within you, showing compassion to the younger self, healing that relationship and rebuilding a relationship, as well as the teenager. Maiden Mother Crone. Duke Father King. You're at the possible point right now of losing your dharma. Some of you are at the precipice of snipping. And I'm putting this message out here. Check yourself, direct yourself. Take a moment to sit and recognize what you're doing as an individual. Actually understand what you've done within your life. What kind of an intention, what kind of an impact have you made on the world? It's kind of like you fumbled the bag. Because your dharma is literally sitting right in front of you. and you sabotaged it. And it's not that you're ungrateful, but you were in such a bitterness that you lost you. You lost the parts of yourself, and it affected you in such a way that you can't even see. This is why you can't take accountability for it, because deep down as a human being, I know you have integrity. I know if you went to hurt someone, I know you would want to apologize. I know you would want to be in a position to take accountability, because you're a very emotional being. You have the ability to care and show compassion and empathy. This is part of who you are as a root. You are what nourishes the world. And are being betrayed into being a bitter vinegar. It's almost as if you've been tainted by a darkness. The only way that you have the ability to change the world is if you purify the ability of your intention. It's almost as if you are sabotaging your ability to step into an abundant energy. Because you feel that the bitterness and the emotion and the aspects of frustration has brought you to a lower energetic frequency in the south node. It's about connecting to source, to analyze the chaos. You have the potential to be the guide through a physical pain, through the transmutation from pain to power. And this is where your is realized. This is where you can transmute your pain into abundance. Or have it be a part of annihilation. Spirit's warning you. Your divinity is warning you that if you do not reacquaint yourself with your inner child, there will be a repression of your freedom. And you will you will have a choice but to learn the lesson. I call my power back to me from anywhere, anyone that shows any ill will towards me. Any ill will showed towards me in this reading, or with my throat, or with my voice, may it be sent back to sender and bound to them indefinitely. They can become a mute like her. Let them never utter or sing again. I'm being called to say this, what I'm saying. I will not shut up. Because people need to take another look at things. People need to see things from different perspectives. As above, so below, as within, so without, and so it is. Okay. I'm going to do 3 stacks of my animal whispers. Okay, for 3 of you, there's 3 different timelines here. For one of you, goofing around, enjoying yourself, having a ball, having fun, having all of this other, enjoying your life with your partnerships, right? But if you find that it feels kind of dead, does it feel dull? It's lost its vision. This could be just dealing with friendships. It's kind of feeling that there's an individuality rather than friends. It's become more of an acquaintance situation rather than any type of deep friendships. And it very well could be just be you focusing on your partner rather than having any type of friendships. If you do have a partner. If you don't, it's basically everybody for themselves. I know you're forgetting the message because you're not seeing the vision. You've lost the vision. And you think it's all a big, huge joke. I guess that's a better way of understanding it. And this is why your partnerships are having issues. You have to go back to the drawing board again to recognize what love means to you, even just for yourself. Because not only does it reflect within your partnerships, as in your lovers, but it also represents and it reflects with your family and your children's lives as well, if you have any children. You're missing out on manifestation. The timeline. You're living on a prayer, on a hope, and your emotions are getting the better of you and diminishing the magic. It's almost as if you're running out of time. The clock is ticking. Some of you are waiting on the magic that's no longer there, or that isn't there, or hasn't ever been there. You're just sitting there, or you're being patient, just waiting. As your life progresses, it progresses. It unfolds onto itself within every moment. You're not getting any younger. Your age is starting to show, maybe. And you're just sitting here, patient, without any magic. And you're wondering where this pathway is going. You're wondering where... It's like you're lost. Yet time is just ticking away. These are energies that I'm picking up tonight. These are your current situations that you're dealing with. And then there's another timeline where you're very guarded. You're speaking up, you're speaking out. You've gone through your carpet. You've transmuted your pain to power. You're seeing possibility. Knowing that you are protected. You have grace. And what your intention and what you are moving forward through, actually creating your experience. You gain knowledge on how you can alchemate your reality into something beneficial for yourself. Talk about a switch. Some of you have lost your fire. There's a couple there listening that, well, Spirit told me to pick out another 3. So we have 4 different timelines. Somebody's lost their fire. They're ready to give up. But they need to persevere, and they need to focus on their intention and what they've been working on. And I'm picking up the 9 of Wands in my mind's eye. So you've been through a lot. You've been through a tremendous amount. You are a wounded warrior. And you need to continue to have perseverance. You need to continue to moving forward. It's not the amount of, not at the speed of what you work at. It's at the quality and the intention of the foundation of what you are working on that matters. Because anything with good intention, it is and will stand the test of time. So are you just building a porch? Or are you building a legacy? Because there's a different quality and standard on which you treat those two different things. And it's up to you to make that choice. It's about stepping into your authenticity. The cards are literally confirming everything that I've said. So throw some roses in the chat or flowers in the chat if this is resonating with you. Let's make the comment section a garden. Let's build a community garden, shall we? Yes, it was a giggle. I don't see the garden. All I see is a bunch of text. I can't have anything nice. Anyway, the dragons have something to say. Earth and Air Dragon represents a perfect balance of heaven and earth. Stay balanced, ground your visions, manifest your hopes and dreams. A royal blue dragon and gold dragon strengthens you to stand in your power with wisdom. Awaken to your own majesty. Wear your cloak of power with pride. But understand that with that power, a great responsibility. Silver Dragon illuminates your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Listen to your soul. See higher possibilities. We got the Green Dragon. Helps you tune in to the secrets of nature. Receive answers and guidance from nature. Align with your divine essence. Omega Dragon harnesses the divine feminine power of creation. Intention. Intention or intuition? No, intention. Hold your vision. Birth the higher consciousness. Water Dragon. How obvious. Helps you flow easily around obstacles. Christ light and love are flowing. Develop your psychic abilities and just go with the flow. Blue Dragon from the Pleiades prepares you to accept source healing. Accept a healing activation with heart. Give and receive heart healing. Orange Dragon brings soul families and communities together. Belonging, warmth, and oneness bring people everywhere together. So it's about rebuilding those relationships within your community. I think Spirit and the dragons are calling on you to help with that, because you are emotional, empathic creatures and you have the ability within you. Sunshine Yellow Dragon helps you to help animals. Serve animals, heal, respect, and understand them. So yeah, Spirit is asking you guys to be a little bit more compassionate and don't allow the bitterness to overtake you. Whether it's oriented or not. It's about taking the high road. It's about showing by example. And if you're sitting in karmic energy, you don't do a very good job. You need to be in divine energy in order to do that. You need to be in the higher north node of energy to do that. That is where you teach the more beautiful lesson. When you're in your karmic energy, all you do is create chaos, which isn't what you're supposed to be doing. It is not part of your calling. So, this is what the dragons are saying. Step into your divinity. Step into your intention. Step into your authenticity. Create your best reality. All right, we're going to get into the vibe check, and then I'm going to do the readings. The tarot. And I'm not going to say that you are the creator of the chaos. It's not all on you, water signs, okay? It's not all on your shoulders to do this. But because you have the ability to be empathetic, this is part of your job. But you can't do it in a way to wise it, to manipulate people. It's not the way to go about it. Okay? You can't do it in a toxic karmic energy, because that's where you build up karma. You have to build up dharma with your intentions, not karma. When you're when you're in your karmic energy and you're moving forward with your intention, you are building up karma. You are in your divine energy and you are building on your intention, you are creating dharma. Which one are you feeding? Okay, I did 4, because Spirit wanted me to. So 1 to timeline. We have somebody that's trying to take away the bitterness out of their life, right? You don't want no second chances with anyone. You're done. I think you're in the process of cutting everybody out. You're being very antisocial. You're holding on to your feeling. You're not really speaking anything. I wonder the mute. Um, you're giving people silent treatments now, and you're feeling left out. Okay? You don't want any deja vu. You don't want you're not thinking on nostalgia. You don't want no second chances. There's no wishful thinking. You're just trying to remove the bitterness. You're trying to remove the anger and pettiness, and you're being salty. You're just wanting to be in your solitude. I can respect that. Another timeline, you're coming out of isolation. You kind of have your doubts. You're a little delusional, but you're thinking your hopes and your fears. Okay? And you have to be a little bit delusional in order to manifest life, specifically in the current karmic matrix that we're living in. Okay? Because what actually, for some of us, what actually means something to us, it would actually be beneficial for us to the current state of things, it looks delusional. It looks, it's a fairy tale. Okay? However, you've been self-reflecting, and you're answering those questions you've had in the back of your mind for quite some time. You're recognizing some untapped talents that you have in you, and you're coming out of isolation. You're done being rejected. You're done being left alone. You're not being self-inflicted, or you're not self-damaging, right? And you're working through it. You're stepping forward into the possibility. For another one, this is a very karmic one. You're very two-faced. You're living a double life. You're a cheater. You're a backstabber. Yet you're inspired. You're optimistic, right? And you're hoping for some sort of success. Okay? And for some reason you feel that there's no more procrastination. There's no more delay. There's no more, you've been too busy to, you've been procrastinating. You're kind of making excuses, right? But you're two-faced. You feel like you're wasting time. You want to be in an inspired and optimistic and successful energy, but you're not even taking accountability. You're not thinking before you do something. And it's creating more drama than peace. And for some of you, it might be like, come on, you're like losing your patience. But you're literally living a life. The life that you're living on the outside of yourself is different from who you are inside. Inside, you're literally a raging idiot. And on the outside, you're just calm as... you're just calm. Or vice versa. Maybe you're calm inside and you're a raging idiot on the outside. Who knows? And raging idiot, I'm looking at the two-faced backstabber, right? That's what I'm kind of taking on. It's like you're being two-faced. It's kind of like you're good shoes to everybody, but behind closed doors, you're like throwing rocks and hiding your hand. Then we have a very stuck, very dead end, very frozen, trying to nurture yourself and be gentle. You be mothering, nurturing kind of energy. You could be a feminine, or you could be in your feminine energy. And you very well could be missing someone. You're wanting to reconnect with someone. You're wanting a reunion. You're kind of longing to I don't know, gain an understanding of something and nurture a friendship or a relationship. But you're feeling stuck and stagnant, not really sure as to how you to move forward. And this is why you need to nurture yourself first. It's very crucial in the experience. That's where you start. And as that works, the divine will work miracles in your life. I guarantee you. I speak from personal experience. The divine will show you what you need to know. But when you have to surrender to the divine and allow the divine to guide you. The only way you can do is go deep. Go deep within your subconscious. What I basically started with. Search underneath your carpet and see what you're still holding on to and what you haven't processed. Okay. I'm getting the karmic chicken out, and then I'm going to get into the I'm going to pick 4 piles. Okay. I'm just going to read them off. Why not? So this could be you, could be going through this energy, or you could be dealing with people in this energy. Okay? I'm just going to read out the deck. Chicken. So you're dealing with a person that's so jealous of you, they'll shit all over your success. You're but too much of a coward to go get it their own. Okay? Somebody's a sloppy Joe. You could be dealing with a Virgo. Superficial snorkel, surface level. This is what I'm talking about. Mr. or Mrs. Disco, supervillain. You could be dealing with a little. You could, divine intervention, Divine magnet. So because of you not wanting to go deep, because you are closing off your intuition, you're actually shutting off your divine magnet for abundance. You can't compete where you don't compare. Some of you are in this toxic karmic energy, right? Silver spoon, you've pretty well lost everything and you're trying to hide it. Yeah, you're not taking accountability for the lies and the deception that you're spewing, apparently, and that's making you paranoid. You're closed-minded muggle. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You having no other choice but to go within yourself. You're carrying Karen. The more time you take to postpone your healing, the more time they be stealing. So people are actually manipulating you, blackmailing you, taking advantage of you because you're in this karmic energy. When you're in your divine energy, nobody can touch you. Peter, maybe you're being too picky. For some of you, the ancestors are happy for you. They're clapping, they're cheering. They're cheering you on. I'm thinking this is the one that's working into your divine energy. I know there's a timeline here. You're actually doing the work, and I'm proud of you. Keep going. The ancestors are extremely proud. They're like literally cheering you on. Okay? You could Scorpio. that's actually doing the work. You're fructose intolerant and you're trying to hide it. The inability to tolerate other people's bullshit. So you're kind of masking in order to save yourself. It's not masking to manipulate. And I'm proud of you. Sometimes you do have to mask. Sometimes you have to put on a pretty face and get through the day. But deep down, you have to recognize that shit and deal with it as you go. Okay? But I have a feeling you're not forgetting, you're actually doing the work. And that's why you're fructose intolerant in the first place. And I've decided I'm not going to read out. I'm just going to pick 2 piles, or maybe 3 piles out of it all. Yeah, we'll do 3. That leaves the pile out and variable. So you might need to return to sender, sending them on. Maybe you're being affected by a return to sender. I get it. This is a very karmic energy. So somebody returned to send what you sent them. Okay, and it's basically you're in a spiral right now. You're a poser hoser playing in somebody's face, right? And no discernment. And now they see who you are because your mask slipped. Yeah. You're definitely not wanting to be with anybody. I don't know. Hang on a second. No, yeah. For some of you, there's a thing there, but you very well could have done a return to sender. And you sent somebody on a bender. I just got the divinity card here, so I'm going to switch it up here. Because I got wham bam thank you ma'am, but it was in reverse. So you're in your divine G. You're not playing karmic games. And you're dealing with the poser hoser and they're playing in your face. Now I'm on track. Divinely guarded and protected. So you could be borderline on Earth Angel. There you go. You're divine masculine, divine feminine. Divine masculine, divine feminine, they're in balance with their masculine and feminine. Okay? So, open-minded be. You need to recoup from your vacation. So the vacation that you just took or you just got back wasn't a vacation. You need another one. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. Passed on karmic thought that by ending it would remove ability. They're purgatory bound. So if you had anybody off themselves, thinking they didn't want to take accountability, they're in purgatory. You need to sit on the dock and let it drop. All right. So instead of pushing yourself and pressuring yourself to look under your rug, wait for it to bubble up. Deal with the shit right smack in your face right here, right now. Because as you deal with that, it's going to allow the other stuff to float up. Right? So deal with what you have right now. And just deal with what floats to the top. Okay? Don't push yourself to necessarily go deep. But whatever in your face and whatever's, causing you trouble, deal with that first. Because it's not necessarily about digging unless it's something that is rooted, right? A lot of the surface level stuff is connected to the bottom root. So look at what you're dealing with right now and see the bottom root. You get that whole plant out, and rather than chopping it little bits at a time as it goes to the top. You're dealing with reactive abuse. Don't age. Okay, this is one of the hardest things that you that you deal with when you're regulating your trauma and you are creating, you're muting that pain to power. Is how you deal with reactive abuse. Recognize that it is reactive abuse, and you don't engage. Like unless they're like coming at you and they're gonna physically attack you, don't engage. Like just tune them out, ignore them. They're not even old. Focus on what you're focusing on, and if they have a problem with it, then you know what? Speak to them. Say, you know what? I don't want to engage with you like this. I'm focusing on what I need to focus on right now. But I won't distract myself by dealing with your bullshit and your bitterness. If you want to tone it down and speak to me in a way that's beneficial for both of us, that way we can understand each other, then great. Yeah, because somebody doesn't think you're an earthing. Yeah, there's a karmic. There's a karmic that you're dealing with. You're not out here committed to making anybody look bad. You're just chilling. You're kind of sugarcoating things. You very well could be a donut eater. Or you could be dealing with someone like that. I feel like you really have the upper hand in this situation, whatever you're dealing with. But you're the wrong one to mess with. You're not somebody that should be messed with. There's a reason why you're an open-minded hippie, right? I kind of feel like you're in the process of wanting to nap. Either that or, and it's just the status quo. It's nothing, I don't think it's anything personal. But for another person, I think you're actually finally content. You're actually content with your life, despite that you're dealing with some sort of chaos. You're not really in the market to burn any bridges. The bridges will be there. So I think you're kind of in a balanced energetics. You're definitely in a divine energy. Maybe you're rebuilding bridges rather than burning them. Or maybe you're just burning new bridges. Just flipping, bumping fables. So you're literally going through and like cutting shit off. You're making waves rather than ripples. You are standing up for yourself. You're not taking no shit from nobody. These are particular people that you're dealing with where you're flipping tables because they're drunk because they're masking their feelings with alcohol. Right? And you're putting your foot down. So you very well could be dealing with an alcoholic. You very well could be dealing with somebody that's drinking. We have cancer. And toxic traits due to a toxic family. Okay. And I will let you guys pick the pile or two. I'm going to put a poll in here. Hang on. I'm going to top up my coffee while I wait for answers. I have 26 people, so I can get 26 answers. I'll be right back. 10 more people to make a vote. This is about using your intention. This is about having the rest of the reading in your favor or against you. The reading lie in your hands. And the verdict is number 2 with 88% in vote for number 2 rather than 1. So masked and confused, they're fake and acting in your face. So pay attention. You could be dealing with a karmic Sagittarius, somebody that's in Dark Emperor or Dark Empress, so they very well could be sabotaging themselves or out of control, or this could be you. Out there telling lies and disrespect and, you know, out there, it's kind of really given me, you're being fake. Timmy the Truther, Holy Revealer, so you're out there, Timmy the Truther is out there speaking truth. He's a bit of a whistleblower, telling the truth. He's awakening people. He's activating people, right? This is very destructive. This is like somebody very deceptive. Somebody out there being very, very deceptive and creating a situation of chaos. Negative fucking Nancy. You're definitely sticking out like a sore thumb. You're very, very dull. And stop. Just stop right now. Stop absolutely everything that you're doing. You're embarrassing yourself. You need to stop cheating. Not only yourself, but other people. Do you have an eating problem? You might want to look into that. You don't want to meet anybody at their level, and you're wasting people's time. Giving me a feeling that you're misunderstanding people on purpose to create chaos. You're definitely not grounded. You'd sooner be out and choosing everyone else because you don't want to be dealing and looking at yourself. And it's creating major chaos. You're a beautiful nightmare is what you are. Like, this is borderline psychopath, narcissist, very, very dark energy. Like, it doesn't have to be that, but you're a beautiful nightmare. You're like me, psychopath. You're just looking at the beautiful, like, everything's perfect, everything is fine. Meanwhile, you've got, like, 9 swords in your back, and you're giving somebody else 9 swords, just for fun. You're blocking out the ability that you're master manifester. So you're blocking your manifestations by doing all the shit that you're doing. You're deceiving other people, saying they're the ones throwing the rock in their hands, the people that you're attacking, right? And they're not doing a damn. You're delusional. Because it's got throwing rocks and hiding their hands, right? But it's in the reverse. You've got receive, reverse magnet, divine protection. It's in the reverse. So, apparently being, Uranus is kind of a dark, oh, maybe you're not, hold up. Reverse magnet, divine protection, but in the reverse. So I'm really kind of thinking that you're pretty dark. You're a pretty dark individual. You're meant to try to protect you, and they're actually haunting you now. Interesting. Saying sorry for being you. You are important. I really kind of get that, like, as this was in reverse, I get the fact that you're, like, kind of remorseful, but you're really not. You're saying sorry to manipulate people. You're trying to apologize to people, and so that way you can manipulate them again. Wow. I never thought I'd read these cards like this, but that's what's coming out. You're not feeling anything. You're totally off all of your feelings. And you're clearly not healing. You're creating chaos. You're not transmuting anything and creating chaos. And you're creating pain outside of yourself. So you're creating chaos in other people's lives. Mm-hmm. You're actually speaking and uttering lies as truth. And you very well could be a dark high priest or high priestess. And it looks like you're doing this to an Aries, an emperor. They're a born leader, and I think there's a lot of envy here. Because you're trying to be them. And you can't compete where you don't compare. If you were dealing with the karmic Aries, it would have been upside down. You're dealing with an emperor, and you're messing with somebody that you're really with. All right. All right, I'm going to do 3 5 stacks. And that will end the evening. My water signs. Now you can switch the role as it goes. You could be this energy, you could be dealing with this energy, and that goes throughout the whole reading, okay? But it's requiring you to be reflective and be introspective and make sure that you are good, you are balanced, right? It's to help you reflect as to where you stand within your standards and your integrity and intention going forward. It's to help you regulate, it's to help you balance everything out. Strength, yeah, and 5 of feathers. This is about having the strength to reconcile, having the strength to create a peace and an understanding. And being an honorable warrior while you're at it. Rather than trying to be bitter. All right. What do we got for my first 5 stack for my air signs? What's the current situation? That's way too fucking loud. Yeah, I'm gonna just shuffle and pick from the top. Right off the top. Whoa. We're getting right into the karma energy, that's for sure. I'm glad there's going to be 3 of these, because this one, I don't know. Let's shuffle these up a little bit. Oof, nice catch. I'll put them out. Holy shit, you're going through it. Wow. I'm just going to say, I'm glad I'm not you. Pray tell what the next level is. Trigger. I know I have coffee, but there's some tea here on the table. So somebody's being very manipulative. Of Cups in reverse. Fan you being there, because this is a water reading. 8 of Crystals in the reverse. So this is absolutely everything that you're working on is falling apart. Your whole plan, your whole scheme, everything that you worked so hard on to bring chaos and disempowerment, to create the lies and the deception that you created to bring about the demise, okay, of not only a relationship, somebody else's relationship that you were jealous of, okay, but not only that, but the disempowerment of this person. So you not only want to ruin the relationships that they had, okay, whether it be friendship or what otherwise, you wanted to create a situation to where they weren't looked at as a individual, okay? You tried to create a situation where they were delusional. They looked delusional, okay, because you were not awoken. You were in your karmic energy. You wanted to basically put them out. You didn't want them to have any hope for life. You didn't want them healing, and you're sure as hell not healing, to create this much chaos. And you were, yeah, you were, you were keeping away from your enlightenment and the ability to renew yourself and to heal and to create a better life self. You were basically sabotaging that because you chose to basically go out of control, right? And because you were trying to dim this person's light, whoever they are, You not only that, but you made them juggle. So any particular partnerships could be work. You tried to ruin their job. You're constantly having them juggle. Constantly having them not have any particular aspect of being able to, to be able to have any type of stability. All right? And, yeah, that was all put to a shame. Okay? All the lies, all the disempowerment, the relationship, and everything. The imbalance, the constant juggling, the diminishing of hope and inspiration, the fact that you didn't want them awakening, that all came to an abrupt end. Okay? It's like you got sat down, is what it looks like. Because you literally lost control. Okay? And at one point, you thought the wheels were working in your favor. Right? You were standing for something. You thought being compassionate to someone when you're actually minding your own business. But all of a sudden, a whole bunch of shit happened. And justice was brought to your fucking doorstep. And literally, you were stopped in your neck for doing all this bullshit. Interesting. And it seems as though you're trying to keep it a secret. I'm hearing say the cat's out of the bag. Hearing people know. People know the truth. They're not impressed with you. You're a sad individual who's been on repeat in your head. That's from what people are telling you. Again, flip it to where it belongs. You could be dealing with somebody that's getting their karma and getting sat the fuck down for coming for you. Yeah, they wanted you begging. They didn't want you receiving an offer to walk away. Yeah, they didn't want you moving on in the beginning. Yeah, they wanted you questioning, collective. But you're finding self-worth regardless. And you know exactly what's going on now. So this is a confirmation. Okay? What else? Yeah, you're getting a new beginning. You're getting a new beginning. So if you're dealing with the type of person like this, they're getting their, they're basically going to get their shit handed to them. And they thought they were going to come for you, but they're going to get it. And I think this is the cards telling you that you're getting justice. That this person that tried to ruin fucking life is getting put away. They're dealt with. Whether, like, I didn't see the chariot out, so it very well could be by the divine. But they're being put in their place for stepping out of line. So they could be receiving their karma. Yeah, 9 crystals. Somebody is trying to tag along with your new beginning. They kind of want to siphon you because of your new beginning. They feel entitled to you. So this could very well be a cross-watching. I guess I'm a cross-watching, cross-reading tarot reader, I guess. I don't know. So you very well could be dealing with, maybe this is a karmic timeline that I'm picking up on. So you could very well be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio that's doing it. But you're going to be getting justice for this, for everything that's being done to you. The cat's out of the bag is basically what Spirit's saying. Because they're bragging. They're telling a whole bunch of lies, they're deceiving, and then people are finding out the truth. And they're going back to this, yeah, you're a fucking dirtbag. Right? That's basically what they're telling this person. All right, second timeline. Let's do that. Right at the top. Okay, you're releasing a third party. Now you could be dealing with a third party. Trying to be patient. Page of Crystals. Trying to gain a new understanding, a new balance with a particular situation or partnership. You're waiting on ideas. You're waiting on certain information, certain grounded information. So you're being patient as to what's going on. You're just trying to take a balanced situation in order to elevate. Okay, that's the base of this next timeline. You're kind of set in your ways. You know exactly what you have as your perspective. You see truth of what it is. Or you very well could be set in your ways and you're wanting to look at it at a different way. But there's going to be a transformation. You're going to be liberated. You need to weigh your options and results and is going to happen along the way. So I think having your patience but having discipline at the same time is beneficial for you. Now you very well could be in a position of being emotionally manipulated. And this might consist of a one-way. It's not reciprocal. It's like it's either you're give, or you're take. But I think somebody's depleting you. There's not a equal give and take. Considering this is why you're stepping up. You're moving on, I think. Now we've got somebody manipulating you energetically. So this could be you or somebody else. Let me see. You have acorns. Your manifestations are coming in. You need to work on your grounding, comfort, prosperity. Maybe I read that wrong. But somebody could be manipulating you. This is what the imbalance is. With the 9 of Shells in the reverse and the 6 of Crystals. Okay? So somebody's not being reciprocal. They're trying to manipulate you. But you need to have patience. You need to continue focused on what you're doing. And ground yourself. Moving forward with action and focus. Focusing on your prosperity and effort. Yeah, focus on yourself. Because right now you're in an energy of overthinking. So you need to balance that. You're having to change your whole foundation on what you stand for. With your communication, with the way you show up, with your relationships, with your intention. You might even change your job. You might be changing house. You might be moving. But there's going to be some sort of clarity coming forward. Okay? So let's get the top. Let's see here. Pick a middle. Sure. I don't pick a middle from there. Yeah, okay, so this is the Chariot. You're moving on from a very wild situation. You're moving on from a third-party situation. You're gaining a new position, a new perspective on this particular energy. You're guarding your heart at this point. You're putting an end and recovering. You're transforming with this particular situation because the wheel was not working in your favor. It's like you got duped. The Seven of Acorns reversed. So yeah, you became very stagnant with this. And you realized your endurance and determination. Um, Even though you know that you might have been defeated, you still have endurance and determination. You'll move forward. It might have been a little bit slower. You might have slowed down a little, but you still kept going. You empowered yourself to recover and transform into a more harmonious, upped your standards, you upped your integrity, you upped the whole aspects of who you're in this more disciplined energy now, and you're more with your way forward. Right? So despite it all, you held a perspective that you felt connected to. You created a balance with that and you rose with it. I think this was a healing situation for you where you transformed and you liberated yourself. Really. You should be proud of yourself. I'm finally happy to be tapping into some good energy. Thank you. Because holy shit. I knew there was going to be karmic energy because, I'm sorry, water signs are fucking karmic. But I was hoping to get into some sort of divine energy, and I think I got it here. Right? But you're still dealing with karmic people. You're still dealing with karmic situations. But you're empowering yourself through this, and you're transmuting that pain into power, which is amazing. I'm proud of you. Okay? Keep fucking going. Keep shining. You're doing great. I'm still taking in the messages and getting the feeling for this one. Getting the storyline, what's going on. This is definitely a very hush-hush karmic energy that I'm talking about right now. Somebody was being extremely fucking sneaky. And whoever I'm reading at right now, you should be ashamed of yourself. Just letting you know. The truth is coming out. Spirit's saying again, the cat out of the bag. But this is a different situation. You thought you were going to hide this from someone. You thought you were going to, you thought you were never. I'm talking right now to karmic Cancer. You thought you could just cover over it, and they wouldn't be the wiser. None the wiser. Because we got the Seven of Feathers. With it being in reverse, this is sevenfold stolen. The sneaky bullshit, it's blowing up in your face. It's blowing up in your face. You thought you weren't going to awaken, and this is why you did what you did. This is why you stole what you stole. This was an inheritance, quite possibly house. If you weren't involved in the actual stealing of it, you were there with the situation. You were trying to rip away their manifestation and prosperity. And you would hope that they wouldn't discover what you were doing. You hope they wouldn't figure it out. But now you're in a position of having to reconcile this thing. Because you're being found out for who you are. Cat's out of the bag. You're being exposed. And you should be ashamed of yourself for even trying this. You can run, but you can't hide, is basically what you're telling me here. And if a wolf doesn't haunt you at night, you're okay. But if you have a wolf come and visit you in your dreams, you might want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. You're thinking a lot about the past, thinking that it still matters. Meanwhile, you haven't grown a fuck A in your life. And the person that you stole off, all they did was suffer. They just continued to focus on forward, thinking that everything was going to fall into place over time. You were leading them on, breadcrumbing them, saying everything was going to work out fine. Everything would be put into place. And then one step at a time, you ruined their foundation. You ruined their liberation. You ruined their rise for everything that they were working on. And you even went as far as opening up old wounds, preventing them to have any type of closure or any type of healing. You constantly brought up the past, only to ruin their foundation. You made it look like they were self-sabotaging. You thought that they were stubborn when they actually went deep, and they were very patient. And they learned how to see things from a different perspective. And they actually transmuted the past to see wherever connected, wherever the motive lied. And this is why you're being exposed. Because every intention has a blueprint. Every intention has an energetic frequency. And everything will be revealed over time. And that what is done in the dark will always come to light. So that what you tried to swindle is now your debt. Everything that you took away from this particular person, there's sevenfold blessings going. So you're literally having to pay them sevenfold. When had you done exactly what you were supposed to do and allow them to have success and allow them to rise, they made you join in. But because you were so selfish and greedy for yourself and decided you were the head honcho on things and you decided to do what you wanted, you basically took it for yourself. And now you're having to pay it all back. It's funny when they put your name and put all the responsibility on you. And here you think you were doing something good. And even the family member that you were doing this for burned you. Because they're not taking any accountability. The accountability is all on you. Because you witnessed everything. You're literally an accomplice in this thing when you could have held your integrity the whole time. But instead you manipulated people and you weaponized your compassion. And you created chaos where there shouldn't have been. You create chaos where yeah. Very, very selfish. Very, very selfish. The cat's out of the bag. Taking inheritance money isn't a very good thing to do. Because whether you like it or not, there's always a money trail on that. It doesn't matter where money goes. There's always a money trail. All it took is a little bit of exploration and discovery. You had options. You had decisions to make. The divine was testing you to see if what decisions you were going to make, and you made the wrong one. You didn't make those decisions with intent, with respect. You totally respect yourself, but in essence you disrespected yourself. You disrespected your ancestors. Very well could have disrespected your own mother. You disrespected her wishes of what she wanted. And maybe because you were so vindictive throughout your growing to your younger sister, maybe she felt that you didn't deserve fuck all. And that you worked hard for your money and you deserved your... And maybe she gave some money to somebody that was going to do something with it. But you'd upon yourself to take it instead. It's selfish of you. And not only did you take most of it for yourself, but you again breadcrumbed your little sister. This money was supposed to build a legacy, not cart you around the world to go visit different parts of the world. It wasn't yours to spend, because now you literally have nothing to show for it. The cards show here that, you know, you're going to be living out of a bag for the real life. Where you thought you were all high and mighty living off of somebody else's money. It's now becoming your demise due to your selfishness. And it's really, really sad. Because everything that you worked for, everything that you worked to deceive this person, is all coming to light on how you tried to destroy them. Get ready, because your life is to get you're gonna get in a whole hell of a lot worse. Your whole foundation's about to crumble. And where you thought you were okay, and where you were fine, your life is about to get a whole lot more in debt. Because not only do you have to pay what you owe them back, you have to pay them sevenfold for restitution, making them suffer. All this time. It wasn't stealing their money, but you literally ruined their fucking lives. At least you tried to. And this is why you should be ashamed of yourself. If you think you're walking away from this and you're thinking that you can just let it slide, remember in the beginning of the reading when I said that you have a divine sovereignty to exist, the ability and the right to have sovereignty to live, Depends on your intention, your standards, integrity. They will make you or break you. You will be made out to be an example. The truth will set you free. But first, it's going to sting. Pray tell, Spirit, get some beautiful divine energy in the room, please. For the last one, please. I want to end the night off beautiful. Thank you. What do my divine water signs need to know right now? Because I'm done with the karmic energy. You should be ashamed of yourself, whoever you are. To weaponize compassion to get what you want. Ugh. Go off in the control, go off in the and cry a little bit. Make yourself feel better. Please, divine energy, divine energy. The person that I'm speaking to is standing on business against the injustice. You're making particular decisions in order to bring mental clarity to the sort of nation that's been left in the dark. You're weighing your options. You're seeing what's going on. You're working on the situation. Trying to find a way that you can walk away abundant. Trying to walk away with some sort of integrity, respect. You're just trying to find the courage within yourself and find the solutions to move forward. Through a tremendous amount of chaos, through a tremendous amount of conflict, because you're not satisfied with the current situation. You know you deserve better. You know you deserve more than what you've been dealing with. And you're focused on your independence. You're focused on cutting out a particular energy. I think I'm speaking with a Scorpio. Even though the death card is not here on the table, I'm really picking up a Scorpio. You're focusing on your independence, and you're speaking truth on something. You're recognizing, you're realizing the truth on something. You were duped, you were lied to, deceived. And the one person that was lied to, that you know about, was deceived as well. And you would have never left, you wish you wouldn't have dishonored this person and listened in on the deception. Because this person was always genuine with you. This person was always solid, right from the get-go. They always wanted your best interest at heart. They wanted you to be living your best life. But you listened to the deception, and it changed your whole perspective, view of this person. And this had to do with the Pisces and a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. A very vindictive, very selfish Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And I believe that there very well could be a Libra involved. There's definitely something here with the Queen of Crystals. This was very selfish energy. It was a two-faced energy. Okay? And I think there's another story here. Okay? There was justice to not only a Pisces, a King of Shells, that was trying to mean well by something. Okay? But there's a passed on Queen of Pentacles. Okay? I was kind of getting a selfish, so this is a bull. This is two people. One is extremely selfish and one is passed on. Okay? The one that is passed on, okay, there was an injustice on her life. I'm really picking up either a Virgo or a Libra. I'm thinking of Virgo. There's a huge injustice on her. And then this Queen Crystals, I think she was a cusp person, so there's air there again, and there's Capricorn Aquarius cusp I'm picking up. A lot of injustice. And all of this is being put to rest. Whoever is going to be speaking of the truth, real truth, not the lies and the deception and deceit, the wheel is going to go in their favor. To the one that speaks up about the deception, and the ones that don't will face their shadow. The ones that collaborated will lose everything. So, truth teller, you have the possibility of speaking on truth. Or facing your shadow, like the rest of them. Because the cat's out of the bag. And I think that if you want to focus on your independence, you want to speak up, you might want to apologize for being duped to the person who really needs your insight, because it will work out in your favor very, very well for yourself. Beyond measure. Not only in the 3D, but in the 5D. And this is going to build up huge dharma for you. I'm kind of getting that this is actually connecting to the last read. The one that's very, very deceptive, that stole a whole bunch of money, where they're having their house fall apart and they're going to be broken on the street. Yeah. This is the whistleblower that I'm speaking about right now. Just bringing all of that out into the open. And the thing is, you don't have any... The thing is, this person that's going to whistleblow, you have no control over. So whatever one you think that you have control over, that's not the one we're talking about. This one knows things. They know the true intentions. They've observed. So, truth teller, the choice is up to you. The clarity that you have will either make you or break you. You want to go down with the ship? Or do you want to be looked at as the hero? As the one that did the right thing? It's your call. Again, about standards, it's about integrity. It's about sticking up for yourself and having integrity and respect for yourself and living for truth and justice and honesty. Water signs. That is going to be the end of your reading. Pray tell. Pray tell. the ability to have somebody's life and the ability to control somebody's whole life in the palm of your hand. Are you going to continue lying yourself? Or are you going to be honest? Are you going to be truthful? You're going to be compassionate and understanding. I'll let you know that assuming makes you look like an ass. And if you want to get burned by the flames and of the pits of hell, that church. This is why we need to stand in our divine energy. The darkness no longer prevails. And the darkness is being eradicated. We've had over 2,000 years of darkness due to the karmic retribution of our world. Now we have 1,000 days of light and divinity, and this is why the earth is splitting. It's what is going to create the healing and the balance. And as water signs, you have a big part in that, due to the fact that you are here in this time, this space, with the sovereignty of the divine light within you. And if you do not heed the calling of who you are, you will be the catalyst for our demise. Trying to put any pressure on you. But if you choose to ignore the calling within yourself, you're only hurting yourself, but you're hurting the world. It's time to not be so damn selfish. Stand in your calling. Create an understanding. And allow your empathy to heal the world. The fire signs have their own job, to guide the intention. The water signs have the job of empathy, of showing. The air signs have the ability to create truth and understanding. And the earth signs have the ability to be the grounds on which we can create the new world. We all have a job to do. It doesn't matter what element you have. I find it wild that the green screen is on. Is somebody playing in the settings? Only my managing moderators do that. So that is your reading. Please use your attention going forward. And understand what you do today will be either the create or the demise of tomorrow. For all of you that think that the world and this life is a joke, you're sadly mistaken. And quite frankly, you're sleeping on yourself. Your sleep potential to create a beautiful place. For the ones that think it's a joke and that nobody cares, so why should I? Do you hear yourself? Do you actually hear yourself? To think that you would rather have a karmic energy and chaos than actually a place of compassion. And yet you sit there and complain about how bad it is, but you don't want to do anything about it and you do want to add to the chaos. Do you understand how sadistically damaging and toxic that is? And how disrespectful to the human race that is? Your masks are slipping. The dark cannot run. It cannot hide. There will be no stone unturned. The darkness will always flee the light. The darkness always loses. Because that what is done in the dark, it always comes to light. And trying to defame people, trying to lie on them for money, and you think people don't know, you think people don't see, and not even understanding that the divine light that gives you sovereignty within your own of who you are as an individual is the only thing that matters. Because the divine sees everything. You cannot run. You cannot hide. And absolutely every soul on this planet will be judged your integrity. You'll either be part of the rise or you will be part of the demise. Pick a side. And I'll see you in the next video. Tribe, I love you. Subscribers, members, I love you. Please be good to yourself if you can't be good at it. So at least we can be good to others. And I'll catch you in the next video.